All right. So thanks everyone for joining us today. We actually have Don Queenie, who is the Director of Transportation. Did I say that right? And the mobile education exhibit. And he is going to spend some time today just talking to us about what the mobile education exhibit is and kind of give everyone an inside look into it. We know a lot of people have requested it to come to their area, and we are really excited that we've really been expanding the area that we are covering this year. So Dawn, it is all yours. Take it away.
All right. Good day, everybody. Julie, we all seeing my screen now?
Yes, you are good to go.
Okay. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. As she said, my name is Don Queenie. I am asking you to hang on a minute and tell me.
In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see the, if you hover over it, you'll see the arrow where you can slide over.
Yep. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Well, once again, good evening. I am Don Queenie. A little bit of background about me. I grew up in Long Island, New York, where I first got into the moving and storage business after high school, and that got me involved with trucking. I traveled to Maine an awful lot as a kid, and as I grew up, I found that I preferred living there than I did on Long Island. So that's where I settled in and actually became a commercial fisherman up there, which was kind of cool. And during that period of time, I met my wife, Brenda. We were married in Damascotta, Maine, and our children were born there. Because I had lived elsewhere and knew what some of the business climate was like in other parts of the country, after I started a small moving business up there, I wanted a little bit of more of a market. So I was able to come down to the Norfolk, Virginia area in 1991 and start a new moving and storage business here. That was 35 or so years ago. And since then, I've sold my portion of that moving and storage business, which started with one truck in Maine, and we now have about 60 trucks in Virginia here. We do quite well. We move mostly military folks, and it gave me the opportunity to learn about Wreaths across America and all of the commitments and sacrifices that our military families make, both in wartime and peacetime, on the home front and on the battlefields. And it made me quite aware and grateful for all of our service members. So during that, about 2014, I got introduced to Wreaths Across America by another driver that was hauling wreaths. And I took my first load of wreaths to Arlington. I like to talk about that first trip a little bit because it's funny how it happened. The loadout in Maine is, we could do another seminar just on what the loadout in Maine is like, but mine was not a very good experience. And it was just rough. The weather was bad and the situations were not in my favor, but I did deliver to Arlington, and that sold it for me. Being in either Arlington or any national cemetery and seeing the crowds come in and do what they do in the most revered and polite way of doing it really moved me, and I wanted to get involved more, stay involved, and get involved more. And I'm typically not one to just stand back and say, okay, well, I'll just do this next year. I had to learn more about what this was all about, and Renee will attest that I found myself up there at different times a year trying to help out, whether it be a Stem to Stone event or just pawing around wanting to learn more about what this was all about. And that's what I did. And when I sold my shares of the business to my son so that he could run the business along with my wife, the moving and storage business here in Virginia, Rob Worcester and Renee and some of the others asked me if I'd come on and lead the charge with the trucking side of things. And in the meantime, I had been helping Renee and her husband, Mike, develop this education trailer. And I actually started driving it first as a volunteer. And that's how I got involved on that side. And then it was a natural transition for me to come on as an employee and help do the dispatching and planning for the mobile education exhibit. So I started that current position in 2019. And I want to tell you that when I would give the story inside, I'd be inside the trailer telling the story of Wreaths Across America. I always made a point of talking about how hard the location coordinators and the sponsorship groups work, because it's my belief. I've never done your job per se. I've done something similar to it in a cemetery near us, but not at the level that you guys do. And I'm always tipping my hat to the boots on the ground that make this work. And I want to say thank you to all the location coordinators and sponsorship groups that are on here tonight, because without you, obviously, we couldn't get it done. So I love what I do. I'm going to continue to do it for many years, and whether it be as a paid employee or come back as an employee, as a volunteer one day, I love what I do. So one of the things about the mobile education exhibit is that it could have multiple goals. It can be something for just for awareness. It can be for teaching. It can be for recruiting. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. The key is to know or have an idea. I guess you don't have to know, because I don't want anybody to be scared to think that they don't know exactly what they want to do and not ask for the mobile education exhibit. But it helps to know what your goal is, whether you're really going to try to just flat out get sponsorships, or whether you just want to make your community more aware. And that way, when you do go around asking for sponsorships, there's more of an understanding of what Wreaths Across America is. One of the things you're going to learn is that you're not going to do that by everybody that walks through the unit. It's going to be the press, and it's going to be the hubbub of us being in town that's going to get you that awareness. Um, the thing that was interesting is when we started this back in the day before COVID, pre-COVID, we were going to other people's events. I've listed here NASCAR events and truck shows, patriotic festivals, and so forth. And those were good. We would see a lot of people, but we'd also would get a lot of just tire kickers, people that are there for the cotton candy or the fireworks, and they stop in and what is this all about? And you do hook a person or two now and then, and you do meet somebody special without a doubt. But I really have learned over the last year that we do so much better on our own created events. Maybe it's just because we're still not seeing that many festivals. We did have one out in Utah, and it was a 2-day event that just we just feel as though these so far the last year has been pretty successful in doing our own events. The events that tend to be smaller, the number of people that we see are smaller, but I think the quality of the folks coming through and the quality of the media attention is better. So the trailer, it's a 48-foot trailer. It's broken into two areas. The rear of the area is designed for conversation. We normally stand up, as you see in that picture right there. We have stand up on a little ledge there so we can look over people. I've got a height issue, so I do that all the time. But it's a place to talk and interact with folks. Even if it's just one or two people, it's an opportunity to meet them and let them look around. The trailer can be self guiding. It's designed to be that way, but we haven't really used it that much because we're well staffed, and when someone comes in, we interact with them. But it can be set up that the movies in the theater can be on a loop, and the storyboards can be read without any interaction from a member. The little theater here, you'll see there's a number of people sitting in here. We can fit 20 or 22 people in here. We haven't been doing that. We've actually left a lot of chairs at home in Maine because of COVID, and we're only putting 6 or 8 chairs in there right now. And eventually we'll go back to having more. The videos that we have to show are, we have different types. If we're at a a truck show or something, we got a number of videos that we for recruiting drivers and thanking the drivers that help us. If we're in a school, we might have something that we do that's more towards the children. But we do have a set of three films that run about 12 minutes long. They start out with what is Wreaths Across America, the newest one. Then it's got Mrs. Stonecipher doing that MSNBC piece, and then the new what is a Veterans Wreath that is narrated by Miles Worcester, which the three of those combined are very touching. And we usually need to keep some tissues in there because some people get kind of emotional about it, rightfully so. On the basic side is the trailer requires about 1,500 square feet of level space. We can be at a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a grade, and we can be in grass and gravel. It does real well in a parking lot. The footprint's about 80 by 20 without the with the truck still hooked up. It's about 80 by 20. We need 30 amp power or permission to run the onboard generator. We've learned we don't use that 30 amp shore power very much anymore. That's usually for inside. We've been inside trade shows before, and that works well. In the summertime, when it's real warm, the large generator does make a little racket, but you get over it. When the weather is, where we don't need to run the air conditioning, we have a smaller generator you can barely hear, so that works out pretty good. There's no water or sanitary needs. There aren't any restrooms on the unit. That is one of the reasons why in our request for this, we always ask and make sure that the host has made restroom accommodations. Stefan and Jen have had just a couple of times where they needed that. So this is a video I'd like to show you. We did this winter in Columbia Falls, Maine area, and it really, the folks at Blackfly that do these videos for us are just awesome, and they really do a good job of putting these videos together. I'm going to play this for you. This is available to any of you. It's on our YouTube channels, and I can also send you the link if you need it. But this does a pretty good job of promoting the Wreaths Across America mobile education exhibit. Job that I get up in the morning. I'm excited to go to work every day. I'm just going to pause a moment and ask Julie to confirm that volume is coming through to everybody.
It is, but if you could turn it up a little bit, that might be a little better.
All right. It's inspirational. Wreaths Across America is special, and it's so
yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Different from so many other things out there. A lot of people don't understand why we do what we do. It never gets old. This is the Wreaths Across America mobile education exhibit.
I get really excited. You get super excited, wondering what the day is going to be like, or who you're going to meet, what they're going to say.
Experience inside the trailer is somewhat equivalent to coming to headquarters.
Our mission statement at Wreaths Across America are three simple words: remember, honor, teach.
I love when people say, "Oh my gosh."
It's an awesome unit. It should be seen by everybody in the United States.
Thank you. Have a great day.
When people come off the trailer really excited to do more, wanting to do more, they've learned something that they didn't know about Wreaths Across America.
You never know who's walking through the door.
Are you a Vietnam vet?
And you never know their story and how it might move them.
As a Vietnam vet, I gotta ask you, would you like to become? It could be a 90-year-old World War II veteran, or it could be a sixth grade student. We just never know who's gonna walk through that door. And welcome home, sir. You guys are heroes. You deserve this. It's been a long time coming. I kind of get teared up when I start doing this, so thank you. It is one of the most rewarding parts of my job. When I get to welcome a Vietnam vet home and say thank you, I just appreciate it. Remember.
A lot of kids don't even know what a veteran is. It's great to be able to work with the kids and teach them what it is that we do. They get super, super excited and usually want to be part of it. Thank you.
Our mission statement is remember, honor, teach. Every one of those wreaths is a thank you to a veteran. I wanted to appreciate what our fallen vets did for us.
Can't hear it.
I want to honor the men and women that are serving today and say thank you to them, not only to the men and women that are serving, but to the families too. Thank you for coming out.
We've been to truck stops, we've been to truck shows, we've been to festivals on the beach, NASCAR, we parked in the parking lot of the big fishing derby one time. I just encourage anybody to not worry about where we're going, where we've been. If you've got an idea for an event, reach out to us.
It never gets old, never ever.
We really take pride in it. It's beautiful. We're lucky to have it and be able to go around and share it with people.
Off to the next one. We'll be on the road tomorrow. Every day is a new day. There's days Jennifer and I start early in the morning. We finish late at night.
Can't hear it.
We wake
Please
up
turn up the volume.
ready to do it again. It is the most awesome experience.
Julie, please turn up the volume.
Jim, the volume needs to go up on yours. What we did is we just put the link to the actual video in the chat, Jim, so that you can watch it on your own and turn it up as loud as you'd like.
Okay, so that video does a really good job of explaining what it is in general. You get a good picture of the back area where we do the interaction with folks on one-to-one basis, and then you can see the little theater, which works out real well. The seats that Renee, the folding seats that Renee bought for this rig are one of a kind. They're the most comfortable, cushiest seats folding seats I've ever seen. So a lot of times if we're kind of slow and a lot of people are just kind of walking by at a festival, I'll put the seats out there and I'll say, hey, it's nice and cool inside and got comfy seats. Come on, check it out. It's really a good unit. So 2021 calendar, as you can see, we in March, we came through Alabama and Texas, did real well there. The media really was very helpful and good to us. April was Arizona, Utah, and California. We're finishing up our California tour on Friday, and the team is going to park the unit and fly home and get some much needed R&R. I want everybody to know that Stefan Brand and Jennifer Merrill are just doing a great job and have probably been out for 6 weeks with maybe 4 or 5 days off. And a day off for them isn't just kicking their feet up, putting their feet up and kicking back. They're doing laundry and preparing and filling out, expense reports and this sort of thing. So it's kind of nonstop. So when we do shut them down, I shut them down for a couple of weeks at a time because they deserve it. We owe it to them, and they need it to have a life. So June, we're in Pennsylvania. We're booked for June in Pennsylvania area. We are going to be at some location coordinator events. We're going to visit 2 of our trucking partners and visit them and thank them for what they do for us by hauling our wreaths and whatnot. July, we're going to be in New England, mostly Maine. We got some Connecticut lined up as well. And then some of these are tentative, but August, I know that we've got a good week in Tennessee and finishing that out. September is open. October, it will be in Florida. So obviously we'll be somewhere between Tennessee and Florida during the month of September. November, we've got a couple commitments to be back up in Maryland. And after that, December is, we got weather issues and we're really, really close to Wreaths Across America Day. So we leave that wide open for contingencies. So an early plan for 22, we've committed for the summer to be in the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and how we work that out, whether we just go straight there or we work our way across, it'll be weather related, possibly southeast, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama. I know that we've got some commitments in Arkansas for one of the spring months. So we'll probably be in the mid-America area, enjoying the spring break weather, then work our way up to the Pacific Northwest. And because we have had some requests there, and to make the commitment to go that far. We don't just drive out there and drive back. We're going to try to work our way across and work our way back efficiently. No idea, too early to tell what we'll be doing next fall, but we have been getting a lot of requests and we'll try to accommodate them. I do want to talk about, before we're done, I'll talk about how I handle the requests so everybody knows how we're doing it. If anybody's works for, knows someone, has a friend, whatever, that would like to be a corporate sponsor for this, we would love to find a sponsor to sponsor the mobile education exhibit. It's pretty expensive unit to own and to maintain, as well as fuel, paying the ambassador team to be out, the hotels, the meals. All of this is pretty expensive, and to date, we're not charging anything for this. So it is an expensive endeavor. Well worth it, especially if we want to start talking about the media attention we've been getting out of it. It's well worth it. And then I'm sure Renee's cringing on this one, but if we had 3 or 4 of these things and a corporate sponsor, would be pretty sweet. This is the link for requesting the mobile education exhibit. It does auto-populate into a spreadsheet for us, and I can sort that spreadsheet by regions and states and whatnot. It is set up to get a automatic reply as soon as you're finished. You hit the submit button, and then a little bit later you'll get an auto reply email from me that says we've got it. We've got your request. There's not much more I can do about that. We get 2 or 3 requests a day, and to really try to have a conversation with everybody until we're eyeballing that region or that location, it's going to be pretty tough. So if you're hearing somebody say, or somebody saying, "Hey, I requested it, but I never heard back," that's probably true, other than the auto replies, because it's kind of rough to try to reply to everybody.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Don, can I jump in it? Because one of the things because I'm following chat and some people have actually made that comment that they've submitted and they hadn't heard anything back. If you have submitted, if it hasn't been a recent request that you've made, does it hurt for people to submit again with the new link?
No, it doesn't hurt. If I see duplicates in there that are completely duplicate, everything about it's duplicate, I will just delete one. So no problem. And then I also encourage people to limit how much you do it. But if you've got a particular date that there's an event that you want us to be at, put a request in for that. And then if you want to put another request in just for, hey, if you're going to be in my area, let me know, request, do that too. I don't mind having a couple of requests from the same people with different ideas on it. That's fine too.
And you can also always reach out to your liaison, and they can look at the calendar and kind of give you some information on where they'll be, and just check on the status of that request, and handle that for you as well.
And
yeah, and
again,
I'll just reiterate on that is that Don is working pretty much around the clock, making sure that this unit is on the road and the ambassadors have what they want. And, recently we've had to get the truck into the shop unexpectedly, but just know that it's a moving target for sure. And we're working on planning it out a little bit more. I think COVID really hurt us on planning for 2021 ahead of where we are right now. But looking forward to 2022, hopefully getting that schedule out ahead of us is, one of the game plans for this year.
Yep, exactly. And on top of that, little by little, I'm starting to pay a tad more attention to the trucking side of things, and come, late summer and into the winter, I'll have to have everything set up like we did last year, because I can't be, talking with people or not talking, but dealing with things, locations that all while doing the other stuff. Last year it worked out really well. We got up with Mission Barbecue and did 26 some odd corporate type events with them, and that worked out real well. Stefan and Jen were on cruise control and didn't need my attention that much. And one unit, 2 people, and all of these beautiful locations all around the continental United States. You can imagine there's going to be a lot more people that aren't going to get this than those who are. And for that, I apologize up front. But, we can just do so much. But I will tell you that when we do when we do get into this, and when we do get to your region and we get to your location and your event, I believe, I don't believe we've had an unsuccessful event yet. I'll take that back. The one that was most unsuccessful is the one I tried to do on my very own here in Virginia Beach. We had 5 people come by to visit, and other than that, everybody else did a great job making this happen. So,
But Dawn, that's 5 more people that didn't know about it. And
That's
that's
right.
something else to kind of touch on as well. You know, the amount of media that's being picked up on the trailer moving around. If we're not able to get to one of your events, just know that, you know, the media that's hitting this outside of your location, you never know who it's going to impact, and follow along and throughout the year and be able to perhaps sponsor, because they saw it, this trailer, you know, on the road passing through your community. You know, they saw it when they were on vacation or something like that. So just know that, you know, it may not be directly impacting your location right now, or we're not able to make it to an event, but you know, there's eyes on it and it's carrying out the mission. So I think it's just going to help people in the long run.
Agreed. Is there a spreadsheet showing to everyone right now?
Yes.
So real briefly, this is a way we track our events, and you know, we're interested in how many people are visiting the unit, and averages. The monies are in here are important, but that's not the goal. One of the things that we're really proud of, these numbers here. These are the Vietnam veterans that we've had a chance to welcome home by giving them a 50th anniversary commemorative pin and a proclamation from the President of the United States, as well as a welcome home hat from Wreaths Across America that has their campaign, the Vietnam campaign logo, and our Wreaths Across America logo embroidered on the cap. And sometime today, we pinned our 500th Vietnam veterans since July of last year. And it's really very rewarding for all of us, and just gives you an idea of the kind of people we're seeing. You can see the numbers. If you look here, the numbers are low. And as the season and the weather's getting better and people are getting more comfortable with COVID vaccines and whatnot, the amount of people that we're seeing are coming up. So it's not something that you have to have an event where, you know, you're going to have 10,000 people coming to. You can't see, you know, 1,000 people anyway. So if you're getting 70 people through the unit, you're doing well, because you're having a chance to interact with them. So that's me trying to plug again the idea that we don't have to be coming to your existing event to have a successful event. We can create our own and possibly do even better. So that's what I wanted to reiterate right there. And it's just so everybody knows, this is what our calendar that we use looks like. There's the month of June, and it's booked up. And I try to do the best I can and do this geographically, so we're not bouncing around. I think that the driver will tell you I'm full of beans. I have them bouncing around all the time, but I try not to. So that is my presentation. I'm going to allow somebody else to tell me what kind of questions we got coming up until I find myself over there again.
Nancy just asked if we've considered following along with the mobile Vietnam Memorial Wall. And I could take that one. It's up to you.
Sure, go ahead.
We have, I know, well, actually, Renee, are you still on? Where are you? I
Yeah,
can't see.
I'm still on.
Yeah, because I think you talked to them, right?
Yeah, we've talked to them along the way. You know, we would like to align on a couple different events where theirs is more of a paid program. We just don't want to charge. We just don't want to charge. We want this to be a resource for, you know, all of our boots on the ground, and be able to cover as much ground in helping you within your community, or, you know, just getting the message of Wreaths Across America out as well. But not to say that we won't be joining them along the way. It's just nothing is set in stone right now, because we just want to hit all the events that for our volunteers.
And in my opinion, following such an amazing event as that would take away from that event. I think there's plenty of opportunities for us to stand alone. We've had an opportunity to be at some places where there's something else going on that we don't need to be taking away from that. You know, if you're at a fair, that's one thing, but if you are at the Vietnam Wall, as an example, this is my opinion, I would do whatever my bosses tell me to do, but I'd like to let that stand on its own, and not us interfere with what's going on with them. So
Yeah, I was just going to add too, we do partner with other groups, though, obviously sponsorship groups. And that being said, for instance, like the vet center, they have mobile units, which is through the VA. The vet center, we do speak with them regularly and let them know our schedule, so that if they have a unit in the area that wants to join us, you know, that's fine too. So we're all about trying to create our own events. We find, as Don mentioned, we find that the events that we are doing solely for Wreaths Across America in the area do pretty well. People really like to come out. As part of this too, Don, I don't know if I think I mentioned this, but you can request make your own wreath kit to have on site is an added piece that you can have available if you're doing this with students or kids, younger people. I think Kathy was on here from PCTI in New Jersey, and I think we had 500 kids come through that trailer that day.
yeah,
and
we
I
sure
don't
did.
know how many wreaths we made. Your thumbs must have been killing you. Made a lot of wreaths that day with the kids, but that's just another option.
Well, a little tip that we learned from that with Kathy, that was one of the better school events we've had. Very well planned. They had a podium with chairs set out. They had speakers. They had the head of the American Legion come out and be part of it. We actually had Moral there that day, which was an amazing thing. But a little tip, we did the make your own wreath kits. A side tip is order those early. Make sure you know there is a fee associated with that. But what we did is, to save money and all, is we were having the kids make the wreaths, and some of us was going around the other side of the trailer and disassembling them and bringing out the parts so that they could make wreaths again. 500 children through there would have been about, I can't even know how many hundreds of wreaths we would have done. And it wasn't really very practical. So yeah, we did that. We did that same thing at a DAR event in DC, where we were making wreaths, and then we have these lulls in between, and we disassemble them and let the ladies come back out and do them again. And it worked out pretty well. So that's a tip of saving a few bucks and making it work.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. We had a great day.
I'm looking forward to being out there again.
I love it. We would love it.
Okay.
If there aren't any more questions for Don, I'm going to take probably not even 5 minutes, just to give an update. Just to remind everybody who's on here tonight that we have 2 different promos going during the month of May that you can enter for a chance to win 100 wreaths for the location of your choosing. One is a shorter lived. It started on Monday and it's running through May 21st. So May 10th through the 21st. It's Monday through Friday. You have to tune in to Wreaths Across America Radio. And you can do that by going to wreathsacrossамerica.org/radio, or you can go to iHeart, because we're streaming on iHeart, and we're just a channel on iHeart. You can look up Wreaths Across America Radio there. And during the morning show from 6 to 10 a.m. And yes, Brenda, that is very early for you, but if you send me a text message when you wake up, I will give you a tip of what it is. So I think she said it was like 4 a.m. But there will be, Michael W. Hale will give a prompt for something that we're looking for our listeners to send us, either on Wreaths Across America Radio official page or the official Wreaths Across America page, and just tag Wreaths Radio. So by entering that, you have a chance to win 100 wreaths, which is really easy, guys. It's like super easy, and the music's good, and it's just I think you'll enjoy it. I promise. I know it's early. And then the other one that we have going on the full month that we really encourage all of our groups and locations to take advantage of, any wreaths that are sponsored and a remembrance wall is posted. So that can be on any of your pages, will be entered into a random selector at the end of the month, and we will pick 100 people to win 100 wreaths of their choosing. We'll also be using those remembrance walls post all over our social media pages and on across all of our content. So it's a great way to share stories and get people interested in doing a post, a post in remembrance of someone this Memorial Day. So if there's any questions, reach out to me or your liaisons, but it's an easy way to win.
Another thing I'd like to add, we've been asked at the, we have a resource guide that some of us put together, and Renee put her finishing touches on, did a great job of. It has a survey at the end of it, and asking you to tell us what we could have done better and whatnot. For those that have had the mobile education exhibit and have had what they felt is a successful event, I would love to hear the tips on what you did to make it work well, as well as maybe accolades or your comments or what have you. You know, because we would love to be able to create a list of successful ways that you got a crowd in, the way you did your invitations, the way that you were able to secure a location, whatever it is. Any of those tips will help others down the road.
And I'll just chime in one last time too, Don. This was great, and I thank you for putting it together. You know, this mobile education exhibit, we didn't really know what kind of impact it would have when we designed it, but I will say it's almost like a rolling library. If the walls could talk, that's for sure. And you know, it's always so nice to hear back from Jen and Stefan after these events. And oh my goodness, you'll never guess who came on. Oh my goodness, we met this wonderful family, or this veteran came on. He was really apprehensive. He didn't know what Wreaths Across America was about. And we found out he was a Vietnam veteran, and we welcomed him home. And now he wants to learn more. And, you know, it just takes one person and one story. And I feel like we've changed, you know, how some of the Vietnam veterans, especially, were welcomed home. I think we've changed their outlook a little bit. I think we warmed some hearts along the way, and hopefully have told your stories as well as the Wreaths Across America mission. And I think it's only going to help everyone in the long run when, you know, we really are getting into that busy time of year, and to be able to, you know, just have eyes and people, you know, just sharing stories. And I think that's really what this is doing. And I think you can never judge a successful event by the number of people that go through there. I think it's about the stories that are told.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. That bit about you never know who's walking through the door. I mean, the couple of years that I was doing this, I was just always amazed on who we would meet. And I can't even imagine the stories that Stefan and Jen have. I can't imagine, because they've told me many of them. And it's really been very, very rewarding for them. I know it's tiring for them, but I know it's very rewarding too.
I don't see any other questions, Don, aside from folks who want to talk with you. So
Well,
you're going to be a popular guy for a bit. I mean, which is
so
fine.
Trish, there's a Trish Caspier. Trish, you were asking about the brand of truck we're driving. The brand of truck we're driving is a Chevy, Chevrolet. It's a Chevy pickup 3500. It was given to us by Chevrolet. We're finding it to be a little lighter duty than what we need. And so when we do go to replace it or buy our fleet of mobile education exhibits, we're going to go with something heavier duty, and probably something in what's called a business class truck. So something with maybe a Freightliner or similar international, you know, heavier duty truck, but in what's called a business class size. I hope that helps. Maybe maybe Trish knows a dealer or something.
Amber, you have a question. The
that.
Maple chance to win again. Did you say the 10th through the 21st?
Yep, it's May 10th through May 21st on Wreaths Radio, and then the entire month of May for the Remembrance Wall post. And obviously, Don, we've had some folks, I think Iris here wanted to talk to you. We'll throw Don's cell phone in the chat. It's
No,
fine.
I just gave him my cell phone. He's
Oh,
gonna
you
call
did?
me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna call me after.
All right.
I did a private message on it though.
I was being funny. Okay, I can.
I don't mind.
And yes, we do record these and we will make them available with the PowerPoint after the fact. So I think that I'm not seeing anything else. So I appreciate everyone who joined, unless Julie, you have something that I'm not seeing here.
Nope, I'm good. So I thank everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, like we said, just reach out to your liaison. We can connect you with Dawn if you missed that in the chat. And we'll let you go enjoy the rest of your night.
Bye all. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Don from Kansas.